What is going on at C2 Wrestling, Fap Reactions? The reunion, WrestleMania, Night 1 is completed. I want to say what a show, but I'm going to say what a main event. A good show, incredible main event. We're going to get to it all. But if you weren't at the live stream, you got to go back and check it all out. It was the Fap Reactions reunion, the honorary Oos Alec. If you can't see, he's wearing the Ulafala. We crowned him the honorary Oos tonight. You got to go back and check it out.
You're probably wondering, what the hell is this belt doing here?
I love you, Alec.
Nah. I now listen to us talk about WrestleMania Night 1.
Absolutely. WrestleMania Night 1 opens the show. Gunther versus Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the match itself, in my opinion, fine. Fine match. Better than Jay's last match at WrestleMania. Better than Gunther's? Probably not. I'm okay with Jey winning the title. Not okay with how he won the title. Gunther should never tap.
Let me grab this microphone right here. It's under the wires. Triple H, what you did to my goat tonight? We got Jay on the press. This is my press conference now. Unforgivable. He should have never tapped. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the quick tap right away. It just rubs me the wrong way, especially Gunther. Out of all the guys, the tap that quick. Again, I have no issue with Jay winning. Happy for him, but did not like the quick tap. Yeah, it just still just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I just think, as you said that, bro, it's just funny you say that. Can you think of anybody else that Jey Uso has submitted before?
Nobody.
That person to be Gunther, your first ever submission attempt, for all I know.
Yeah, but maybe
you tap out Gunther in 2 seconds.
And I believe Chris brought it up during the show that Jay and Ilya are the only people to tap out Gunther. And Jay's world champion. Don't get me wrong, but you're putting yourself in a mix there with Ilya. Gunther should never tap. Maybe let him pass out, sure. I don't even know if I want to go that far with Gunther, though.
Look, I like Jay.
Yep.
This shouldn't come off as I don't like Jay. It might come off that way. But they could have did it any other way, man. Not my goat, not my baby boy. I stand this man for a reason. His 4th ever loss. I am fine that Jay finally beat him, but it could have been better. And honestly, it kind of set the tone for matches 1 through 6.
Yeah.
It really did.
Liz. You know what, man? It's crazy because I feel like at the end of the match when he was hitting all those frog splashes, we were all accepting it. We're like, okay, it's happening.
Yeah.
Jey Uso's winning. And he just tapped. He just tapped out of nowhere. We're like, wait, what? That's the end?
Well, the worst part, too, is the splashes to the front and the back literally set up the spear.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just going to say is, you don't need the submission. I did like it in the moment because it was just different, I guess. But you set up 3 splashes into the spear and you pin him 1, 2, 3. That's it. It's fine.
I guess we'll never forget it.
It might
I guess we will never forget this.
Hot take?
Controversial.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
In regards of Gunther, I feel like, I know we all agree that he should never have tapped, especially that quick. I hold him the same standards like a John Cena, where John Cena should never tap. And that's where I hold Gunther at.
Yeah.
Regardless of, John Cena's been in the company for years. And I hold Gunther at that same status. He should not tap in his entire career.
Yeah.
Especially to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie when he said I got a hot take on Gunther. I started clutching my head. You better watch what you say, buddy. This better be right.
This is a Gunther stand account.
No, for real though, there's guys out there that do submissions. If Gunther faced Gable again and lost to an ankle lock, all right, that's maybe a bit more acceptable. Jay with a rear naked, I don't know. Again, it just didn't quite land for me.
Yeah, it feels.
Maybe I'd still wouldn't have liked it, but maybe if Gunther had struggled there for another minute, it would have been a little bit better. The immediate tap, no good.
It's like leaving a soda out flat.
Yeah.
Literally, bro.
The tag title's the second match.
Tag titles were the second match. Yeah.
Speaking of, never mind, my bad. Stinkers.
Sure.
Yeah.
I said, I'll put this out there so it's on record. Cool, New Day, they got their record-breaking title. You want to really spice up the tag team division, get the Raw tag team division really running. I want on Monday, they do an open challenge. They feel so confident. Fraxium accept. Big E stops the New Day from trying to do some shenanigans again. And Fraxium immediately win the Raw tag titles.
I completely agree. Lock it in, honestly. Lock it in. I think we are in the majority here when we say that that match should have been the TLC that we're going to get on SmackDown this week. That should have been DIY versus the Guns versus the Profits. But it wasn't. It is what it is. Am I ever going to remember that New Day War Raiders match? Probably not. You know, it is what it is.
I mean, if you do, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
They definitely just had the War Raiders for the game itself.
Clash of Clans.
Clash
Yeah.
of Clans.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they were dressed
What I
like
was gonna
them.
say.
Yeah.
So they used it as like a promotion thing. Get it? Definitely did not need to be on the Mania card.
The whole point is, I guess, the New Day turning heel was done magnificently. Post them turning heel,
Yeah.
it's a bit shaky. You know, there's a little bit more you could have done there.
Yeah, man. It's just it feels flat. A lot of it does feel flat. It's just like I don't know, whatever. That match is just never belong on
No, it
WrestleMania.
didn't.
I'm
It
sorry.
didn't-
Like
here's the thing: there are four great competitors. Maybe it did if you gave it like a month and a half long build or something.
Yeah.
You know, had the War Raiders been their champions, but they weren't even really like an established set of champions. I don't know.
Was Jade and Bianca next? Or not Jade,
Jade
and
Naomi,
Naomi.
I believe, was next.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing about Jade Naomi, it wasn't bad by any means. It's just, it feels like it got lost in the shuffle with every title kind of changing hands early on. You know, we'll get into the U.S. title match and the women's title match. Like, again, not every match is going to be a title match, and this was a established story. But I'll be honest, until we just finished the New Day talk, I forgot that match even happened.
So I think the reasoning why is
Jake.
because
It wasn't bad.
No, it
but
wasn't
like,
bad.
No,
I
it
said
was,
it during
it's like
the
a
live stream.
default match. That's what
Yeah,
I feel.
I think the problem is with that match is, you know, you build these storylines and whatnot. We're fans of long-term storytelling, but when the fuck did Naomi even attack Jade? Well, that was like back at like WrestleMania 17 at this point. You know, like that was
Literally, when she returned, I was like,
I don't care anymore. Why should I give a fuck who attacked? That was an eternity ago. You know, like if they would have done the attack angle, like say at the Rumble and built it to them, or even sooner, maybe it's a little bit better. But like, I don't care, to be honest. I didn't care.
I'm glad you said that because I feel that way. Like, honestly, maybe on a smaller scale, with everything that's happening with this WrestleMania, I feel like things happened a couple months ago. Like you had even her return at the Chamber. Yeah, John Cena turn. Yeah, Jay won the Rumble. And what happened after any of these things until right now? I feel like nothing, like no progress was made. That is the last development in these stories.
Yeah.
Are those moments. Like Jade returned, got her revenge or whatever, attacked Naomi, and they've just been mad at each other since. And now we're just waiting to get here.
What this story did have was some liked it, some didn't. It had the Naomi Bianca segment that was supposed to propel it, where they're crying.
Oh my
Everyone's
god,
smackdown.
yeah.
That
bro.
was like the biggest moment of this story, which it didn't even have Jade in it until she came out.
Yeah. Oh, here's another thing about the match.
Yeah.
Naomi, fix your fucking boot. Fix
Oh yeah,
boot.
that pink.
That pink boot lighting up, that was bugging the shit out of me.
Positives though, fire attire from Naomi.
Yep.
Fire entrance, fire music.
Yeah.
Love the new presentation of Naomi.
Yep.
Like it's on the post show right now. Like there's some cool moments, like Jade catching her in the suplex. I don't even remember that happening. That was pretty sick.
You know, I'd say it's one of the better matches of the night. I literally think it might be the second best match of the night. I don't know what else.
I don't go that far.
What else is on this?
Grande Americano is probably up there.
Fatu LA.
No, I'd put this over Fatu LA.
Like, they're all the same. They're all like
Yeah.
exactly there. All of them did the same thing for me.
I think it might edge out Grande and Phoenix, but I don't know. Fatu and LA might be a little bit above it for me, but I don't know. They are really all just on the same level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all feel default.
Which, speaking of, was that next Fatu?
I believe so.
Yeah. Fatu, Jacob Fatu, captures the United States Championship. I love you, Jacob. It's about time. It's about time to put some more gold around that guy's waist. He is a former tag team champion. If you want to get technical,
never lost him.
Never lost him, but it's about time that guy's walking around with a little bit of gold.
It's kind of crazy you mentioned that. He debuted what? It was before Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm.
So like before SummerSlam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like won a title at WrestleMania.
The build to SummerSlam. So he's probably like 8 to 10 months in roughly. And he's already on his second title reign, a Mania win.
You got 61,000 people chanting Fatu.
Yeah.
You know, bro, I've said like my fair share of things about LA Knight, bro. That's a win over LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not against fucking the War Raiders.
He didn't beat Shinsuke for the title.
Yeah, that's against LA Knight, the dude that they've been investing in heavy.
Yeah.
Like to get a clean 1-2-3 win over him, that's kind of crazy to be honest.
Especially considering like Fatu like snuck in there, man, and like took that spot from Solo. Really, if you want to get technical, you know, like that was pre-Fatu. That was Solo's win right there, probably. But Fatu just got so over with the crowd organically that you capitalize on it.
That BFT might be the best BFT ever.
Yeah.
I don't know how you ever top that.
No, I don't think you can.
Smooth.
That moonsault into the BFT. What was match number 5? What am I missing?
Match number 5 was the match that happened after match number 4.
El Grande Americano.
Yes.
Yeah. Man. Did not think he'd actually get the win.
Yeah.
And I love it. The honorary Usos all over it. Like, watching his entrance, obviously hindsight's 2020, but you're like, there's still so much you can do with this guy. You can't have him lose here and the unmasking happening. I know, like, WrestleMania is where you want to pay off stories, whatever. This is still so new and so fresh, and there's so much meat on the bone. But
that was crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But it's the saying that fits it.
Meat on the bone.
Yeah,
right up there on the left.
Big men slapping meat. So I'm glad that he won. And on top of it, I know I had this thought about Jacob Fatu that I mentioned in the predictions, but it's perfect for Phoenix, and it's already happened with Penta. I hate having the invincible doesn't get pinned forever. Like Fatu is a bit of the anomaly, but like Phoenix, he can get pinned by a cheating El Grande Americano who is like one of the more popular stories, and Chad Gable also rules, so it fits that he didn't get this spot, but at least El Grande did. So now, like, if Phoenix faces Jacob for the U.S. title, I'm not like, oh, well, Phoenix hasn't been pinned yet, and Jacob's not going to lose. What do you do? Like, you're in such a better situation with that.
Yeah, sometimes taking the pin can, like, add some depth to the character. You know, there is the anomalies like Fatu, but how many anomalies can you have that just aren't getting pinned? Eventually, those two guys are going to face each other or something, and one of them has to. Yeah. So you can't go that route with everybody.
I think this was perfect for Phoenix to lose because he just debuted, where it wasn't just enough to build him up to be like he's this strong luchador. Like if you had Penta getting pinned, like where he is now, I feel like that's a total different situation.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Where this is like it was perfect, and that's. I mean, we obviously didn't know this was going to be happening until tonight since it got changed, but they got something hot here with El Grande, and I think they got to run with it because this story and like the way they did the entrance and everything, it's just great.
It is interesting that, like, I wonder how long they really did plan, even come up with this idea for Grande Americano. Like, when did they even come up with this?
I don't know, but man, it's always crazy how something on paper before it even started, if you like wrote it out, you'd be like, this is ridiculous. What the fuck are they doing?
Like, literally, like, oh, we're going to put Chad Gable in a mask.
Yeah.
For WrestleMania. Yeah. Oh, a month before Mania, we're just going to throw him in a mask.
Yeah.
And then slide the metal plate. Like, that's
genius. It is so good. It's so outside of the box that it's like, it's so outside of the box. That's what I think is so cool. It's so unique. It's like,
I think it's one of those, I think it's like a plans changed type gimmick where I think the idea was for it to be short lived and he gets unmasked or something and they just move on from it. But it kind of blew up, and it's been going hard. And even bad publicity is good publicity sometimes, and people are talking about it whether you like it or not. Grande Americano, here to stay.
Yeah, I love that.
I think
Love
he
it.
would have beat Mysterio, bro. Honestly, I
Yeah,
think,
I
I
agree.
think
I
this would
think
have been the thing regardless.
I think
I
they-
think.
I do think they
But
played
it's
out the
easier to stay
same.
now.
I think they played out the same match, but I think like it must have been like a week or two ago where they were like, all right, maybe we can actually have
Yeah, maybe
This
continue
gives
this, you know.
this gives me the same vibe as Sami Zayn joining the Bloodline. They like tested it out.
Oh yeah.
Crowd
Yeah.
jumped
Yeah,
on
and it like
it.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
worked.
same thing with this because we've seen some goofy
It's
gimmicks
like
and they don't click with the crowd.
like
And then-
Riddle and Orton. You
Yes.
know, like
Yeah.
it just clicks sometimes and you run with it.
You know what
Yeah.
this makes me think of? What you're saying, like, oh, we're gonna throw him in a mask, whatever. Not to think back to Vince days, but
The good old days,
yeah,
right? When we had
It
good
makes- yeah,
WrestleMania.
it makes me it makes me think of his obsession with superhero gimmicks, like
Yeah.
Nikki
Oh.
Ace,
Yeah.
ASH, wanting Neville to be like a mighty
Mighty
mouse
Mouse.
superhero, whatever. Like, this is one of those where, like, oh wow, this is kind of the same premise, and it actually fucking worked. Like, majority of them don't.
Yeah.
This is one that did.
I mean, you got to
it's
give
great.
the credit to the athletic ability of Grande Americano. You know, he can absolutely go in that ring.
That's what I think is cool. Sorry, I want to break kayfabe. The fact that Chad gets to just wrestle like a lucha is so cool. Like
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
gets to wrestle like a lucha style, and like he's throwing our
That-
backs. But like that's so cool.
That fucking one move that he hit,
The
where he-
moonsault.
Yes.
That's what made me think that when I saw that. I'm like, this is so cool. Like we haven't seen him do that before.
It's
and
like a
yet-
450 moonsault.
Yeah,
It's
he's
crazy.
got all this in his arsenal, and now he's using it.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's very cool. So this is
so
awesome.
underappreciated,
Mhm.
and it's about time. Like I said it in our prediction video, he deserves his flowers.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
he finally got that moment because he has been carrying like matches for that Intercontinental Championship
Mhm.
run when against Sammy.
You know, well,
It's great.
it's one of those like in hindsight, the Sammy win over Gunther last year was great, but man, that was Gable's match to win.
Yeah.
When you look at that Sammy like
Dude,
kind
I'm
of
glad you
title
brought
run,
that up because it's like crazy to look at it now when people
Yeah.
are begging for him to
Uh-huh.
beat Gunther, and now he's in a mask. Like
Yeah.
it's just fucking crazy.
it's
Like,
kind of crazy.
it's crazy.
now talking about it, he just beats Ray Phoenix. It is not far fetched. Penta wins the Intercontinental Championship, and we have El Grande Americano versus Penta for the Intercontinental
yeah.
Championship.
El Grande wins the title from Penta.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
man.
Penta's the one who unmasks him.
Unmasks
Either,
him, yeah,
either
either
one.
way,
Like,
yeah.
they could do a mask versus mask match.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Something like a or
Come on,
mask
that's
versus
That's
title.
SummerSlam all over it. Come on.
It's
Yeah.
Mask versus exactly. Mask versus mask would be fucking.
They're
I mean-
teasing it. They're teasing
God.
it, so it's gonna
Oh
happen.
my.
I mean, I got Triple H's number. I'll just text him.
Yeah, I'll
I
shoot
think
him.
it's a good idea, you know.
I know he's gotten a lot of sleep the last last
Oh,
week.
you could be saving that
And a
for
lot of kisses.
Mysterio, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Could be.
that's the like people will be like Mysterio mask match. Like maybe that's why they're like, let's delay this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's get him a win, and we'll do down the line.
All right, now that we've spoken positively, let's take a U-turn.
Yeah.
Let's take a little break. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the
Yeah.
positive.
Let's get on the
Might
negative
as well
train.
do a whole new
Yeah.
fucking video.
Charlotte Tiffy. First and foremost, I believe it was makeup on Tiffy's
Yeah,
teeth.
she looks good. Teeth
So-
look fine.
She showed her teeth when
Yeah.
she was walking out here and like pointed to it.
Yeah,
So,
So she did not lose any pearls. They are.
definitely something on her forehead though.
Oh yeah, she's got
Got a
a
little shiner.
she's got a shiner. She's got a bit of a lump.
fucked up. I
Yeah.
can't lie to you.
She
She's
got-
looking a little.
She kind of looks.
busted right
She
now.
kind of looks like the meme of the Bratz or Barbie doll. That,
Yeah.
That's what she's
Bro,
kind of looking
yeah.
like right
She
now.
looks like the Rugrats doll.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that match happened.
Yeah, and
That
you
match
know,
happened, bro.
and
That was a
I don't
match
want
of
to
all time.
shit on Tiffany. No shade on Tiffany because Tiffany is incredible.
Yeah.
Great champion, great athlete. I just don't care. I didn't care about that match. Charlotte sandbag in there in that match. I mean,
Come on, that's the story of this match.
Yeah.
Who cares
So we
about
gotta
this?
discuss
Who cares
that,
about the
I
match
feel
outside
like.
the last 1 minute of that match? That was a.
it's not crazy to
Whatever.
even suspect it because it's evident that Charlotte's done it in the past. Like that's her and Naya got in, like a fist fight, like an actual fight during a match at a point too. You know, like I don't know. I don't even know if all the rumors are true. Who knows if they went off script or if they didn't? You know, you never really know. They're not going to let out all their secrets. But if they didn't go off script, they're playing it off pretty fucking good.
Oscar
So
worthy.
got to give them the credit if that's the case. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
you can't convince me they like each other. I'm really like on that like stand after this match today. You can't convince me they like each other.
Mhm.
You could see it in their faces, especially towards the end when like that match was finishing up. It was so sloppy.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway, besides that it seems Charlotte sandbagged, don't fucking run this match again.
No.
This
Bro,
does
if
not
you're
need
gonna
a
run- if you're gonna run
rematch.
this match,
Oh.
brawl for all. You're
Yeah.
going on the damn boxing
Yeah.
gloves.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
watching
yeah.
a real match between these
Yeah.
two or a fake
Yeah.
match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, getting them in damn this
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, or run it again when I got something else to do on Friday night.
No,
I don't
for
know,
real.
Yeah.
Underground match.
It's just
Yeah,
like
literally,
honestly,
yeah.
bro. I don't know. With that, they had so
I-
much
you know, and
momentum too, bro.
I'm
They had
just-
momentum going into this that they
Mhm.
could have just like you could have went in there and like played off of that. And at the beginning, a little bit,
It
you know,
did.
they
It
were
was like that
scrambling.
cattiness, yeah.
Why didn't you do that the whole time? You guys should be
Yeah.
smacking each other like just fucking hit each other.
That
and at
should
the
have been-
end, it looks all.
That should have been less like moonsalty, more just punching and shit.
Exactly. They
So,
should be in there scrapping.
Gotta get another great bout before we get to the historic main event.
hmm
Why are you matching?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Why are you matched?
You can't wear the same
Why
gear.
are- Now, you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because seeing how this match played out, I don't want to sound like smart marks fucking saying, "Oh, she sandbagged her," but she did. Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that these dots don't connect. Like,
hmm
you're wearing the exact same colors, Tiff.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
forget how to wrestle
And,
at
you
the end
know-
of the match. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like Charlotte. 15 times somebody let you win to win the title. You can do it one fucking time. One time.
You know,
Is what it
we said it too. Like Tiffy's whole thing is pink. You know, so like,
It's her
I mean,
brand.
who knows? Maybe we're reading too deep, but we are among the people that hate when two wrestlers wear the same gear against each other. It makes you think they're a tag team. We kind of said it too. Two football teams aren't going to both wear white in a game. You know, it's kind of how it is.
Main event.
Mm-hmm.
Main event.
On screen right now.
First things first. I'm the realist. First things first. I can't believe that we've gotten on this channel and tried to convince people before that this match was, for one, going to be good, even though people say it wasn't going to be. Two, needed to main event, even though people said no, it's not for a title. Three, that this was the biggest match besides Cody Cena, and it has the highest importance. It doesn't matter. There's nothing on the line. You watch that. You tell me that roller coaster they just put us through, and it's nothing on the line. Hell no. That shit ruled.
Absolutely. Top to bottom, best match in the card by far. Best match of the show
Yeah.
so far. And, you know, us here, we want an apology from all those people that didn't believe us, didn't trust us when we told you. That match was going to be perfect. It was going to be the main event, and it should be. Incredible.
I did have a bit of a fear. You pointed this out. That it felt almost too obvious, the Rollins Heyman, because everyone was kind of buying into it.
hmm
And sometimes when it feels too obvious and they end up doing it, it doesn't really land. This landed, man.
Oh, it landed.
This
Landed in war.
Yeah.
Man, it's so crazy. Because this all started playing out. I feel like a lot of people connected those dots when he said, "Now you owe me a favor."
hmm
What if he never said that? Like, and this still happened?
Yeah.
Do you think people would be like, "Oh, it doesn't make sense"?
I think
Do you think they did that favor to make this make sense?
just you could have did it either way with the tug of war of Punk and Reigns. Like we said, well, you're both fighting over me. You don't. Neither you get me.
Yeah.
I'm going with them.
That's why I almost wish he didn't say, "You owe me a favor."
That's exactly
You know
what
what I
I
mean?
was
thinking.
If this was just like, what? Heyman, like, it's still amazing. But I almost do wish they didn't even have that inkling in there, you
Mhm.
know?
I think Rollins saying he is owed a favor was more just to make like fans' heads spin. It's just another like route they can go,
Yeah.
and it's the route they went. So yeah, maybe that does make it a little bit more predictable. I feel like it's our saying here: predictability, when done right, can be good, and that was maybe one of the better examples of it ever.
You know, when Heyman first low blowed Reigns and handed the chair off to Rollins. They show Rollins. Rollins like breathes a sigh of relief. At first, I was like, there's still a chance he doesn't stick with Rollins. Like he doesn't go with Rollins. When it first happened, the way they kind of were, I was like, that's the favor. Heyman leaves. He's sick of it. Whatever.
Like, you happy now?
Yeah,
There you go. I
exactly.
gave you what you
Yes,
want.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone, I'm, all my debts are cleared with everyone. But then, obviously, he sits in the corner. Rollins, clear as day, is now heel. Goes with the chair. What I love about it,
That is interesting.
Rollins, he pushes the ref after. We know Rollins is now heel. He needed to be heel, if we're being honest. We can keep Roman as a heel too with all of this. Because Roman and Rollins, if we think back to the Rumble, when Rollins came out with the Shield music, they were both still heel then.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They will always be enemies. Punk is even more of a babyface.
Yep.
So I think this is like the ultimate win-win-win.
Yeah, I really don't like. I don't know if there was a better way to end it. Don't get me wrong; they could have had Heyman turn on any of them. Punk could have won. Roman could have won. I think really they set themselves up to have a great match, a great ending, regardless. But I think that was the best answer. Was exactly how it played out.
Yeah,
I think Rollins really deserved that win too.
He did. He deserved
That's
a
a
big
good
win.
point.
He
He
deserved a
deserved
big
that
win.
for a
Yeah.
long
Walking
time.
out of another Mania, watching especially when you have Punk and Reigns in there, like, you think Rollins is gonna get pinned,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
fact that he won, like, that is he pinned Reigns, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Even
And
better.
Rollins has been the workhorse for a while, man. He was one of those guys that has just always been around. He's always there, always put on great matches. Deserves his flowers for sure.
What kind of makes me a little nervous? Him going heel, pinning Reigns, having Heyman on his side. We were talking about it in the live stream. I could see Reigns conquering and finally
He's gonna
beating
come right
Rollins
back around, yeah.
because of this, and I don't want that. I want Reigns to never beat Rollins. I want Rollins to always hold that over Reigns. And one last thing on this. Last year we called Rollins the MVP of Mania 40. Like everyone said that. We said he deserved to win. Outside of him winning a championship, what more could be the you deserve this, you earn this,
Yeah.
this is your moment, than him not only beating CM Punk, not only beating Roman Reigns, but doing it in the main event and having both of their guy turn on them to join him. Like that is the ultimate, man, you have done us a solid for years. You were the MVP last year. This is your shining moment. I know he had 31, but this
been a
really
long
feels
time.
like
10 years ago. That's why I think it's so crazy. Like, Brock was in that match with Heyman. Reigns was in that match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's so much. There's just so much history there with all of those guys. And then CM Punk is thrown in there. Like, what? CM Punk? What? It feels like somebody made it up. Like, it feels like genuinely you could wake up from a dream and be like, what the hell? That's crazy. Reigns, Punk, Rollins made event in Mania. Like, that's crazy.
It is.
Insane.
I think we're about to see a historic heel run from Rollins.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to add on to that because you did say that it could have just been a clean slate right here. Right here, actually. It could have been when, whatever, he gave him his favor and it could have been done. Even when he handed Roman the chair, I was like, oh, it's done. He's with Roman. Like, I didn't even think, like, my brain wasn't thinking 10 seconds ahead, oh, he's just going to low blow him too. Right there, I was like, oh, it's done. He's just going to beat up Rollins. It's done. This was done so well, bro. So well.
In our prediction video, I took Punk. I just kind of went like a random choice, honestly. But I was thinking for a while leading up to this match that the idea of Heyman helping nobody or Heyman turning on both Roman and Punk because they put him in such of a middle ground spot were the two options, really.
Yeah.
I just really don't think it could have turned out better than it did.
the close calls in that match.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
insane.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Those false finishes.
Oh, and the Roman, the jab to Rollins when they were going for the power bomb on the table.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
Great
was
moments. Great moments.
that was so damn
Couple
cool.
second pause there. Oh, it was so good.
It's like that. But like you feel like you have it figured out. They're like, actually,
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's so good. 'Cause I was like, bro, that did not.
So to wrap things up here, I think you said it best on the live stream. Although a majority of night one didn't feel like Mania, didn't feel like it was hitting, this main event was so huge that it's gonna outweigh a lot of it. And in a few years' time, I'm sure tomorrow, night two, will have some great matches and great moments. In a few years' time, it all mixes in into one event.
Yeah.
Not, oh, well, night one had this that I didn't really like, this that I didn't like, this that. It's gonna be like, oh, you had the Punk, Reigns, Rollins triple threat. You had Cena, Cody main eventing. You had the Street, whatever. I think that's where it'll be true. So I'm more excited for tomorrow now that the main event of night one somehow exceeded my expectations, which were already really high.
Crazy, man. What an event. WrestleMania 41. Night one concluded. Night two still to come. Fab Reactions, C2 Wrestling, the honorary Oos Alec. Be here, subscribe, and hang out with the boys.
Please.
Now.